YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today, we're here to talk about who is Cody Rhodes facing at WrestleMania 41. Now, as you guys know, Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion right now, and he obviously has a few people that he can face, and he's had some rumors going around lately in terms of who it is that he can face, who makes the most sense. And I'm here to tell you right now, I think that once again, this seems to just be the theme this week. I just believe it all comes down to the Royal Rumble. Usually, around this time of the year, we kind of already know who's going to win. We know who's going to be, you know what I'm saying? We know who's going to be the guys who are going to be at the end of the Royal Rumble. This year, there's so many stars in the Royal Rumble that I'm actually not too sure who wins. And I like to be in this spot with wrestling, right? I like to not know who's going to win. I like to have an idea, like, okay, I think this is the person who's going to win, but I most like having the feeling of this is who I want to win versus, oh, I know this person is winning. As you guys remember last year, and we've talked about this ad nauseum on the channel now, The Rock last year, the night after WrestleMania, we got a video on the channel about how weird that was as well. He already had told Cody Rhodes that he was going to come back and take the title, right? He said, "Don't break my heart." And we never know what it was that The Rock had put in Cody's hands, but what we do know is that last week on the Raw on Netflix, don't know if you guys know they're on Netflix now since they tell us that every 5 seconds. It's ridiculous. The Rock had pretty much came out as Dwayne instead of the final boss, and that pretty much put a lot of doubt in a lot of people's minds in terms of like, damn, like we put so much stock and investment in this character. Are we gonna get this character when he comes back on TV? And then you know what I mean? It's like they essentially like closed down that whole storyline in 5 minutes. So obviously, The Rock came back on NXT the next night. He had said, sit back and wait on the path that The Rock is taking you. But I mean, don't do that with the fans, right? We put a lot of time into this. We watched the 3 hour shows. We watched the 5 hour pay-per-views. Like, don't make it equate to nothing and act as if like what we didn't see wasn't some bullshit, right? So when it comes to this, would I like to see Cody Rhodes versus The Rock? Yes, I would love to see Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. I just don't want to see it at WrestleMania. It's not that it's not a WrestleMania worthy match. It's not that these guys wouldn't tear the house down. Well, also we actually don't know if The Rock would tear down the house in a 1v1 match because the last time we seen him was in a tag match. Obviously, the match was essentially no disqualification, so we hadn't seen The Rock in a singles bout in about 12 years, which is crazy to think because the last time he was in a singles bout, he got injured as well. So The Rock is obviously a lot more older, and as you guys know with the video that had also came out this week, I want The Rock to face Roman Reigns. It's just the issue that you have with Roman Reigns. I mean, the issue that you have with The Rock and Cody Rhodes right now is that Rock would have to beat one of those guys to face the other. Obviously, they can figure out something in terms of making it make a lot more sense if that isn't the case, but I would be looking at The Rock sideways if he lost to Cody Rhodes and then he tries to challenge Roman. Obviously, I do feel as though that there's a chance that The Rock might be able to enter as number 31, throw Roman Reigns over the top rope, and then, you know what I'm saying, enter in, or maybe Roman throws Rock over. I hope that they have some sort of interaction in the Rumble at some point so that we know where they're going in terms of their inevitable rivalry because it's on its way. I just really don't know when it's going to happen. But in terms of saying that we might be getting Rock versus Cody, I would give this a 30 to 33% chance out of 100. And that's only because they planted these seeds last year when they were leading up to the WrestleMania 40 main event. Now, when it comes to who I really want Cody Rhodes to face at WrestleMania, my number one choice would be Randy Orton. I think that them pushing this match back would make no sense. And it's only because Randy Orton is already intertwined in some sort of rivalry with Cody Rhodes inadvertently with the whole Kevin Owens situation. Now, obviously, the Royal Rumble is coming. If you don't know already, Cody Rhodes is going to be facing Kevin Owens in a ladder match to determine who's going to be the WWE champion or the real WWE champion. It's kind of funny how they essentially took that from AEW and made it their own. But yeah, man, we're going to be going to see who's the real WWE champion, right? I'm 100% cool with that. My thing is, I don't know if Randy Orton's going to be involved somehow, some way, right? My thing is, does Randy Orton come in the Royal Rumble match. This match placement also matters too. I do think the men's Royal Rumble match is going to be the last to go on the show, but it's like if you have Randy Orton popping out during the ladder match, what does he do? Does he RKO Kevin Owens? Does he get involved and screw Kevin Owens out of winning the match? And that's actually where things kind of fall into place for me, and in an issue of a way, because it's like, okay, I already know that Randy Orton has to face Kevin Owens at some point, right? It wouldn't make sense for him to face Cody Rhodes before he faces Randy Orton because, I mean, Cody Rhodes before he faces Kevin Owens, because the reason why Randy Orton isn't on TV is because Kevin Owens in kayfabe injured him, right? So it's like, if it wouldn't make sense to go after the guy who didn't even lead to your injury and who's actually fighting for you because of your injury. Now, the story that you can also create is Randy Orton is in this position trying to protect Cody, and then, he can turn on him, he can turn heel. I know some people wanted Cody Rhodes to turn heel. I just don't think that makes a lot of sense, but the story writes itself. I think that there's no doubt that they could potentially have match of the night or of the weekend if these guys lock horns during WrestleMania 41. I really hope that this is the match that we get, and I think it's also a toss-up in terms of who wins, but I honestly do feel as though that Cody Rhodes would obviously end up being the winner. Now, last but not least, what I'm saying? We got the GOAT. We got John Cena. Now, this is the latest rumor that's been floating around, that John Cena is going to be the one to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, once again, like I said in the beginning of the video, this all has to deal with depending on what The Rock does. And I hate that it depends on what The Rock does, because usually, I mean, I would assume that if The Rock is going to be fighting, he would fight Cody Rhodes. I just don't really want to push back the Roman versus Rock match another year. But, I mean, Cody versus Cena would be very interesting, but I just feel as though that you would be putting Cody Rhodes in the worst spot possible. This is John Cena's farewell tour. I don't know if you know, but no one's going to be booing John Cena. And I know I'm not going to be booing him. And it's not that every match has to have it's not like every match has to be babyface versus heel. It's just that people were already shitting on Cody Rhodes last year, saying, oh, his title reign sucks, yada, yada. Now those same people are kind of not saying those things because the title run is actually starting to pick up with this whole Kevin Owens thing, and then you're obviously going to have something happening with Randy Orton as well. My only issue with this is I personally don't want to see John Cena lose. And I do think that Triple H knows that if Cena loses, obviously I would assume he has a story to tell when it comes to Cena's last year, because this is it. It needs to be grand. It needs to be phenomenal. But it's like having Cena lose at Mania in a main event to Cody Rhodes, like that just doesn't. I don't know. That doesn't add up to me. It doesn't look right, and especially with the way that they go about things nowadays, I just can't see them doing that. So, and when it comes to Cena as well, all he's talked about is getting the number 17 on the title. I don't know if he's going to face the world champion. I would assume that Punk and Rollins might end up having the world title involved in their match somehow, some way, since that's the only reason why CM Punk wanted to deal with Seth Rollins. But, I'm really not too sure what they're going to do, guys. Let me know in the comment section, do you think he's going to face Cena? Do you think he's going to face Rock? Triple threat match with Rock and Roman, or Randy and Kevin Owens? Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. It's been your boy Fazer the Great One, and I'm out, bro.